So he thinks probably in about 10 or 15 minutes they're going to let him do the newscast.
Okay.
And he's going to come to us and I'll talk for about 15 seconds.
So yeah, probably pointing back that way might be the better shot.
Looking into the sun?
Well,
I want to drive up here and we'll look that direction.
Okay.
Looking that way with the sun is a better shot, but I'm going to see if there's even anything to look at.
All right.
I mean, I could go down that way and we could face this way and look at that. What about this? Even a zoom up shot of if I stop here.
Yeah, I mean that at least shows where it has crossed 66 into Turkey Creek there. So.
Yeah. So Justin, if you're listening, there's also another fire. There's a couple of fire departments, Willow and Carter, are on, and I believe it's straight southwest of us. It shows up as a hot spot, but it looked like it might be losing a little. Okay. Well, right here is definitely the shot for the news.
Yeah, so one of our Facebook viewers mentioned something also that's really important is the cost of fuel is really high right now. So that's something,
That's
definitely.
a good point.
Yeah, I did read earlier that some departments have just in the last few days spent over $5,000 in fuel, and that's a really big hit for a small rural fire department. So, money for fuel for these fire trucks is also really important.
Yeah, I mean, we know as storm trackers that our cost of fuel has gone up, and our cost to operate has definitely gone up because of the cost of fuel. It makes a big difference.
It's a really big truck.
Yeah. Man, that fire blazed right through here. Look how it blackened all the fence posts right there.
Yeah, those are still on fire.
Yeah, it had to be hot coming through here. Goodness. Let's see what this looks like here. Well, it sounds like to me they're about to end. Got people cheering.
The Masters?
Yeah.
Okay. Who won?
I don't
We
know.
know.
Somebody won.
Somebody won. All right, so someone asked if they got the fire out. And, there's still a lot of vegetation, dead vegetation, burning along Turkey Creek southwest of Foss. But as far as knocking it down, they definitely have it down and under control. And so what we're going to see for probably many hours from now is just a lot of brush pumpers mopping up hot spots throughout this line of trees here along the creek.
All right, so once again, if you guys are just joining us, we are near the town of Foss, Oklahoma, out in far western Oklahoma. A fast-moving wildfire started right on the north side of I-40, traveled northeast rapidly, and threatened the town of Foss. It was going to be a direct hit. Traveled up Turkey Creek, right here, crossed Highway 66, and firefighters made a bold stand right on the southwest side of the town of Foss and knocked it down and kept it from coming into town. So undoubtedly saved a lot of property right there. Once again, great job. Great job, the Oklahoma firefighters out here.
Canoe.
Yep. I'll tell you when he comes on, but it probably would be good to have that shot of the road there.
Yeah, when you hear
Okay.
the show come on, just yell.
What's that?
How far back you want to go?
You were. You're going to or not going to? Oh, awesome. Are you going to come to me at the top or in the middle? Okay.
The shot you want?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what do you think? It's got flashing lights.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Zoom in just a little.
He'll show our shot right off the top, which is fixing to happen in a minute, and then during main he'll come to us.
So what we were told by OHP is the fire started a couple of hours ago on I-40 and moved northeast in a hurry just southwest of Foss.
News is starting.
Okay. So there's Clinton and Castor City right next to us.
It's a nice brush pumper right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's an F450.
Val likes the trucks.
It's a gas motor right there. Burns flat. Okay, so the news is on. They just used our shot right off the top. They're going to come to us in Maine. When we say just come to us in Maine, which means the Maine weather. You know, I'm pretty impressed with how the firefighters worked here today. Yeah, they basically saved the town of Foss.
Alright, so I got an exact location of that Willow fire. It was 2 north of Willow and a half a mile east of 283.
Okay. What's the status on it right now?
I don't know. This is about, yeah, that's old information. So I do know that the hot spot has really come down. In fact, I hardly see it at all. You know, I was thinking about cleaning out all the ash from your truck today. I'm kind of glad we didn't do that.
Right. You know, I am really blessed to have my wife in here. She does such a great job.
Stop.
And I want you to give me a thumbs up
No.
if you think Amy does a great job for us.
We need to stop that.
No, I need to say more of it.
Stop it. Okay. So Paul Hightower says the Carter Fire Department is mopping up on the one at Willow. So sounds like they have a great handle on that.
Hey, we just stopped at the Carter Fire Department yesterday. Got to meet Chad Ripito over there, and see, there you go. Thumbs up, stars coming up.
Oh, stop it.
Got to meet them and see their equipment. Ooh, there you go. You deserve it. She does a great job. And Chad Ripito does a great job over there too. Also, Jimmy Clark, and those of you that live out here might know him. He has a radio show.
Today in Ag.
That Ag Today or Today in Ag, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's getting more popular all the time on that radio station in Elk City right there.
That's 96.5 KECO out of Elk City. He's got an hour-long program on there, Today in Ag. Talks about all kinds of things agriculture related that, you know, and also that radio station really reaches out to all of North Texas and Western Oklahoma, parts of the Texas Panhandle.
Yeah, and he's friends with Lacey Swope. Lacey has been on his show before too. I bet they have a good time. Hey, also, I just want to mention our sponsor, Belter Roofing, and we just want to give a big thank you to Belter Roofing. You guys are the best. Anybody needs any roofing work done at all, give them a call. I think Oklahoma's discovering them and how good they are. Once again, I just want to say what's gone on here. Things really escalated today as far as the fire potential. The relative humidity dropped like a rock. The winds went up, the temperature went up, fire danger went way up, more than we thought it would, I think. This fire started right on the edge of I-40 and quickly traveled northeast and threatened the town of Foss. And firefighters made a bold stand right on the southwest edge of town and knocked the fire down right there. Basically, you know, you could say they saved the town of Foss.
I know, when we drove in on the north side, the entire town was just consumed in smoke. And it was almost scary for a moment because, you know, it looked really bad. It looked like a really bad situation. And we quickly learned from OHP that they did have a handle on it, and that was great news. Yeah, David Fox says Washita County dispatcher did a great job getting the firefighters there. And that's absolutely true. You know, communication's so important. We've seen the Washita County Sheriff go by a couple of times. They're just out here observing and making sure everything's under control.
Canute Fire Department once again.
So yeah, a few days ago we were on the Fort Supply fire. Same day we were called up to the Forgan fire. That escalated quickly. That one burned, I think the last I saw was 23,000 acres.
Okay, got it.
About 6,000 acres in Oklahoma, and then quite a few acres up in Kansas, just north of the Cimarron River. We drove all in that back country the other day, and I'm telling you, that is wild country in Beaver County.
Yes, it is. And, you know, we saw some real cowboys working their cattle, trying to move their cattle, you know, from one field to another to avoid the fire. There's some large ranches up in that county. I tell you what, Beaver County, I used to do a lot of hunting there, quail hunting and pheasant hunting further west in the Oklahoma Panhandle. That, I tell you, Beaver County, I think, is probably the epicenter of the craziest weather, you know, in this whole region. They get the most wind, I believe, and they get bad storms, they get heat, they get cold, they get blizzards, dust storms, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty crazy up there. And right now it's so dry, it looks like the Sahara Desert in places.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right along that river, quite a bit of sand. We saw horses that looked spooked to death. We know that some of the ranchers were having to euthanize some of the calves that had the wildfire had just raged across the land so fast. Really, really sad situation. But yeah, let's talk about a little bit how these fires get started and why this is such a critical month usually in the state of Oklahoma.
All right, so maybe probably the most frequent way it gets started, and I'm about 1 minute out here.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Is people throwing cigarettes out the window of your car, and it starts along a highway. A lot of these fires you see starting along the highway, a lot of it is from a cigarette thrown out. Others could be from the car itself producing sparks, whether it be from, you know, dragging a chain on a trailer, or maybe brakes that heat up and throw sparks, or maybe a bearing that's overheated, or like we saw the other day, a backfiring car. Another way too is people welding out of doors, you know, maybe welding on a fence, you know, sparks flying off of the welding and causing a fire to start that way. Other people might be burning trash. You know, there's a variety of ways, but those are some pretty popular ways that these fires get started. So this time of year, just be careful.
Yeah, the conditions are just so dry this time of year. We have the active jet stream and really, really strong winds that push through from the north and turn back around to the southwest. That's just the nature of it. This is pretty normal for the month of March and April for us to have a wildfire season. Some years were drier than others.
Yeah, Justin, what happened here, a fast-moving wildfire started right on I-40 and then quickly spread northeast towards the town of Foss. It crossed Highway 66 here, and firefighters made a bold stand on the southwest side of Foss, or this fire might have actually come right into town. So Oklahoma firefighters did a great job again today, basically saving the town of Foss, I would say. Back to you, Justin.
So Linda has some great information here about a fundraiser for the two Balco firefighters that were injured in an accident. That's going to be April 16th, 4 to 7 at Carmen Cafe in Beaver. I've also seen a fundraiser selling t-shirts for the Balco firefighters as well. You can look that up on Facebook. Yeah, a few days ago, the dew point out in the Oklahoma Panhandle was in the minus digits. We had a -7 dew point, which that's just crazy dry. Right now in this area, the dew point is about 9. So relative humidity is really, really low. Look at that. So
relative humidity? Wow.
It is. Relative humidity all across western Oklahoma is 5.
Yeah, that's behind the dry line right there.
All right, Dale says at Tom Steed, they ran into Snyder and they saw Snyder Volunteer Fire Department coming in from a call. So probably lots of fires, you know, just small fires. Usually if the fire is large enough and gets crazy enough, it'll show up on infrared, the 3.9 micron that we track. We can use Oklahoma Mesonet to do that. Oh, is Marty talking about that? Okay, we're seeing something up northwest.
I'm just joking.
Oh my goodness, you're messing with me.
It was ash.
He gets ash.
My phone is covered with black ash.
He puts his phone up there and puts ashes. Look, there's a fire. I'm like, I bet Marty's screaming right now. That's what I was thinking.
I need to clean this off. See, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, we smell like barbecue. We have for the last week. So, Gus is asking if there's any rain in the forecast anytime soon. Let's talk about storms.
Yes, I don't know about western Oklahoma though. Let me just look. I'm gonna pull it up here real quick, and we're gonna see what it looks like for the upcoming near future.
Yeah, most of what I saw looked to be primarily I-35 eastward, but you know, that could change. We're still a few days out. Tuesday is the day that we're kind of focusing on. Let's see here.
Okay, so fantastic. Well, I guess we'll move from here and then see if there's anything else that pops up.
Yeah, the sky has definitely become less smoky.
Okay. Yeah, they probably jumped all over it and got it down.
So they do have a slight risk on the convective outlook for day 3, and that's going to include southeast Oklahoma.
We think tomorrow looked like maybe a little less of a risk of fires. Okay. Okay, and you know, I was noticing that there's a difference between the her model for tomorrow and the NAM Nest.
There's always a difference in the her and the NAM.
If that's all they got in Houston, it's going to be, they're not going to make it up here. Yeah.
They lost some foam.
Huh.
Oh, nice. Look at this. So,
What is that?
this is a food truck that has set up to help the firefighters. That's really awesome. We should pull up there and find out where they're from.
Look at that foam.
Yeah. Lost the phone there. Hang
I
on
want
a
to find
second.
out what that's all about.
Yeah. Hold on. I want to talk to these guys.
Okay.
Y'all like something to eat?
What happened?
Are you here to feed the firefighters?
Oh, really?
Wow, that's awesome.
Do y'all use foam out there?
Yeah. That's what I've seen. That's what I've seen.
That's awesome.
So I said, I'm just going to come.
Okay.
What's your name?
I did not know that. I've never
Justin,
seen
what's your
foam
company?
being used out there, but it would work, right?
Jones.
Hey, man, great job today, guys. I mean, that's
Okay.
That's pretty much
Jones
saved that
Holy
town right
Smoke
there.
Barbecue. Okay.
Y'all like anything? Water?
yeah. Good job.
We're fine. You save it for the firefighters.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna take off and go wherever. So
Wow. Thank you.
I don't
You're
know if
doing
there's any
great
other
service.
things going on right now or not yet, but anyway. Yeah. We'll see you.
All right, so just talked to Jones Holy Smoke Barbecue. He was at an event, and he's setting up barbecue free for all of these firefighters.
Oh,
working
nice.
Fire. So he said he wanted to contribute and help, so he set up his food truck right here. Where
That's
firefighters-
nice.
That is nice. So anyway, go give them a like on Facebook. That's a really great community service there. That's going to be Jones Holy Smoke Barbecue. He was at an event and saw the fire and said, you know what, I got some extra food, I'm going to feed these guys. So, really nice.
That is nice. Very nice.
So what'd you find out about the foam?
They do use foam. They overfilled it a while ago. That's where it all came out.
Okay.
But they do use foam. It suppresses. It keeps. It really keeps it down when they spray it on. It keeps it from blowing and spreading.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just slowly start heading, I guess, east here. I was seeing something before. I was talking to Justin about. Oh. Yeah, sorry, Justin. We'd stopped and was wanting to find out what all that foam was on that truck. But they actually do use foam sometimes out on these fires. Alright, so you guys are asking about tomorrow. So we use basically two short-term forecast models for, determining storms and stuff like that. So for tomorrow, there's the HRRR model, and it shows no storms whatsoever. Basically for most of the state, except maybe northeast Oklahoma. And that would be late at night tomorrow night. But there's another model called the NAM Nest, 3-kilometer nest model, 3-kilometer NAM, and it shows a completely different story. It shows at about maybe 8 or 9 p.m. tomorrow night, big storms going up over central Oklahoma, even rotating storms. going up there. So the difference is that the NAM model brings a lot more moisture up from the Gulf, and the HER model does not. So we will see. Justin was telling me that right now down in Houston, the dew point's only 55, and so it's going to take a lot to get decent moisture up here in that short of a time, and it probably will not happen. But crazier things have happened. We'll just have to see. The next chance is Tuesday after this, and Tuesday looks like a bigger day, especially along in the east of I-35. So basically the eastern half of Oklahoma right now is what it looks like where the severe potential, including possible tornadoes, on Tuesday. So we'll have to watch that really, really close to see what's going on. So you'll be hearing more about that in the next coming days.
So current conditions on Mesonet are really positive looking for the moment. I mean, all of the hot spots across western and northwest Oklahoma, everything is clear. So that's not to say another fire won't pop up, but conditions are minimizing as the minutes go by. Just the wind speeds are going to come down, and when we get close to sunset, you know, that threat goes down, the temperature comes down, and it looks good for the rest of the evening. So we're going to keep monitoring any hot spots that develop. Good news for Foss, and good news for the area down by Willow. Heard that one got knocked out pretty quickly. We had an earlier fire pop up near Canton Lake. It was out west of Canton, about 8 or 10 miles, Chain Ranch. They knocked that one out really fast. We couldn't even get there fast enough to see anything. So firefighters have definitely done a great job today.
Yes, they have. On a Saturday.
All right, Bob, thank you for providing that link to Jones Holy Smoke Barbecue. I encourage everyone to go and look up their Facebook page and give them a like, and just write them a message, say, hey, thank you for sending your barbecue out to feed those firefighters at Foss, because that's a huge blessing to them.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal, because I mean that's some money right there. I mean, for a person that's you know trying to make a profit, you know, in a business like that, for them to give away that much food, I would say that's a sacrifice, you know.
Yeah. You know, and we see all the volunteer firefighters that, you know, are sacrificing a lot of their own resources to put these firefighters, you know, they put themselves in danger as well. So to put these fires out, you know, there's a lot that goes on that people don't realize.
I wonder where they're located.
Jones, I don't know if it, let me look.
I wonder where he's from. I mean, somewhere out here local. I think maybe Clinton, maybe Elk City. Yes, I am. Go for it. Oh, no, I was just talking about, you know, I got cut off. I was, you know, watching that, seeing what that was all about with that foam and that fire truck. But you're talking about the weather for tomorrow. Does Tuesday still look like a big day? No, Tuesday. I-35 or further west? Okay. That's kind of been a favorite area this year so far. That seems almost impossible, doesn't it? Completely impossible. You always got to leave a little bit of it. So you're telling me there's a chance? Okay, that's pretty low. Right, there's always a chance. It's April in Oklahoma. What's that? Yeah. Yep, the calendar. Well, we're just gonna